11 o'clock, mismanagement is how one Greenville County Council member is calling the handling of charitable donations to Greenville Animal Care.
The shelter is taking on more animals than it can handle, and advocates feel many could have been saved if action was taken sooner. Fox Carolina's Alexa Urbach has been looking into the issue and joins us now live with details. Alexa.
Greenville Animal Care was once considered a no-kill shelter, but for the last 2 years, that has not been the case. But animal advocates and one county council member say this all could have been prevented by using funds they didn't know were available.
I was very frustrated because I've had a lot of very good ideas that were roadblocked by a lack of funds. We don't have the money for that. We don't have the funding for that.
Frustration now spilling over for animal advocate Barbara Wally as she thinks about all the dogs that could have been saved by Greenville Animal Care.
That was a very frustrating thing to find out, that there were a lot of programs and things we could be implementing to save lives, and that life-saving money was not being used to save lives.
The issue goes back to 2022. That year, the county killed more than 1,000 dogs and cats, almost a 13% euthanasia rate. Last year, even more animals were put down, making the shelter's euthanasia rate 16%. That's when the group Animal Advocates was desperate for answers, so they reached out to local officials. Greenville County Councilman Steve Shaw stepped in.
They were able to dig into the budget and they found the Second Chance Fund.
What is this money? It's almost $1 million. What is this money doing? What is it from?
$1 million found sitting in a county account. The funds came from private donations, and it's called the Second Chance Fund, which is marketed as providing life-saving measures to the animals of Greenville County, all while the county's euthanasia rate continued to climb.
And the fact that people think they're going to drop a dog off and it's going to be wonderful for the dog, it's just not true. It's a kill shelter.
The fund even climbed to more than $1.1 million in 2023, the same time the shelter could no longer be considered a no-kill shelter.
I can't understand why the money was not being spent all along. It just baffles anybody's logic.
The fund acts as a buffer for the shelter, and there are no regulations about how it's used each year.
You can't do that. You can't collect money under the guise of no kill. They're collecting money under this premise, and that premise doesn't exist, and the money's not being spent.
Now, Shaw has introduced an ordinance that would establish spending requirements and parameters for the Second Chance Fund, something Wally says would help prevent unnecessary animal deaths.
People who can't adopt or foster are going to want to donate, because that's exactly what I would want to do. And my concern is that people are going to donate money and it's not going to go towards life-saving measures, or it's just going to sit somewhere.
Now, when asked about the Second Chance Fund, the county said it's used in emergency situations and is needed as funding varies from year to year. But since Shaw's ordinance was introduced earlier this year, the county has spent around $500,000 for things like medical care, dog boarding, and foster support. There's no word yet if the county will take up the ordinance again. Alexa Urbach, Fox Carolina News.